Well, and a first positive Friday, which is nice. Amira, Leon, Dill, Silver, hope you guys are all good and trading well. Let me know if I'm coming through okay. Am I coming through okay? So it's NFP today. Obviously, the first Friday of every month. I'll go into those numbers. I'll go into my trades, and then we'll do the $200 giveaway. Thanks, Amira. Appreciate that. And let's get to it. So not much to look at today. But to be honest, I'm not really interested in getting into any new positions today over NFP. Sometimes you find price action a little bit rangy before those numbers, which I believe are at 4 or 5-ish, something like that. UAE time, I think it's 5:30. Let me just double check. It is 3:30. No, that can't be right. Must be 4:30 GST. I don't think that's right, because we're now 3 hours ahead, not 4 hours ahead of the UK. Anyway, whatever. It's coming out this afternoon. Aaron, how you doing, buddy? What they're expecting today, they're expecting 325. Here's the number here, 325, and employment to go down to 3.5%, right? I'm not going to massively comment on what I think is going to happen or what may happen after this. As I always say, I'm not going to predict it. I'm just going to react to it. What will be, will be. Let's let the market tell us if it likes it. The technicals right now are pointing towards upside movement, continued kind of risk on movement, but we'll have to wait and see when those numbers do come out. So looking for 325 and 3.5. So just be aware of that volatility coming in today. But I have to say SPX is looking pretty nice. You know, from a technical perspective, forget about what's happening today. It looks good for upside up to roughly around this area. We've had our pullback. We've had our OB here. Fair enough, not a massive... Well, it did come on volume, actually. Coming on volume and potentially corrective over, continuation, pullback from that latest impulse. All looks pretty good. You know, it all looks pretty good. 20 periods starting to curl over, so my bias would be, you know, continued upside movement. So the only reason why I'm expecting positivity is purely because of the technicals on, you know, within this market here. So SPX for me, breaking out of it, looks good. Risk on, still pullback. Yes, still pullback. But intraday risk on certainly continuing for me. Is the dollar's harder, right? The dollar is one that certainly we wait for. I think we did have a push 2 days ago that we've got our bearish 180 here from yesterday. What do I think about the dollar? To be honest, I don't really know. You know, it's falling on, you know, potential push in that market. If it wants to continue acting as that correlation between SPX up, dollar down, then continue to the downside. But I mean, we try to push on here. We've kind of got our V reversal in, so accumulating prior to potential break below now. So maybe that longer term dollar play to the upside is not going to come into fruition, because you'd expect, you know, if we are pushing on from here, this 50% area from this movement to the upside, corrective, 50%, you know, continuation, then we expect the market to push on there, which it hasn't. So NFP will obviously affect the dollar. We know that. But it doesn't look great. It doesn't look great. What are your guys' thoughts? Where do you think the dollar is going? Because to be honest, I couldn't really give you a bias on this particular chart. Yeah, it could be. Could be silver. So you're looking at, you know, kind of deeper pullback and then, you know, movement up. Aaron, sell it. Silver, buy it. Oh, I saw silver, you said. Starting a new trend. So Dow theory. I mean, remember, this is not confirmed until we break above that higher low. So, yeah. In which case, if it does do that, start a new trend, higher low. Yeah. Could it be If it does, could it be this? Could it be this? Could it be this? I don't know. Honestly, we have a higher high, break of trend. Yeah, you got a higher high here, but technically you've not got your higher low just yet. So with a swing to be confirmed, you got to break through the highs. In terms of Dow theory. So in which case, yeah, you could say higher high, higher low. Yeah. It's hard to predict where this dollar's going. Again, the market will probably tell us by the end of the day today. UK is on holiday, by the way. We'll know at 4:30. Yeah, exactly. That's the best answer. We'll know at 4:30. Yeah, the UK is a bank holiday, I think, in the UK, so they're not trading. So you may not get as much movement over the London session. But dollar, I will sit myself firmly on the fence. Firmly on the fence today. Wait and see, as Amira says. Okay, not much to look at. Aussie CAD is still on the list as this daily aggressive potential breakout to the downside, which obviously will take some time from an aggressive standpoint. I'm looking more and more. It's getting a little bit better for me to look for an aggressive entry, possibly up towards that 200 for this kind of pattern. Cup with handle, V reversal back into this structure, but got a little bit to go. So I would say that's another, I don't know, 4 or 5 days, possibly a trade for end of next week if we are to get an aggressive, but something I'm still obviously watching. Aussie CAD. Pound Swiss. Pound Swiss going against the risk sentiment, but it is just my personal bias. The chart does actually look good for downside movement. The pound has been weak. Setup is kind of, getting there. My only issue is, and although the Swiss doesn't act, it is a risk-off asset, right? It is, but it's not as heavily involved as the yen. So we do have potential context here. The trend is down. The technicals are saying down. Cup with handle, looking for this to come back down, accumulate, and break to the downside. Right? The weekly chart, the higher time frame confluence is good. Right? It is good. I mean, look at that weekly. That's great. Here. Right? You're kind of getting your complex corrective break through that area. As I said, the pound has been weak. So, pound Swiss short still makes sense. Still makes sense. So I'm looking at that, but again, not something for today. And finally, USD NOK. USD NOK. USD NOK, very similar to the DXY. We might not get this. This could break through on NFP volatility, but you can see the chart is quite similar with our bearish 180 or slight bearish 180 yesterday. Looking at our V reversal, potential head and shoulders on this breakout zone, going with that larger term trend. Hopefully a reaction around that 200, possible aggressive entry in here short for dollar continued weakness. And that is all I'm looking at. So let's go through the fun part, which is our open trades. Pound CAD. Pound CAD has been a beast, right? It's been a beast. I think we've locked in about, what's this here? 405 plus 100, so on this 500, about 2.5 R. So about 5% locked in right now in pound CAD. We did break underneath the hose, the lows. And yeah, I'm pretty happy. Our stop was up here. I'm pretty happy going down there and capturing more and more profit as we go along. I still do like it short. 4 hour a decent pullback. We're obviously looking at breaking through these structure lows on the daily chart. Decent day yesterday, rejection. If it does do this, for example, it could do this. And if it does do that, I'd rather be out of it and potentially look at re-entering than keeping my stop quite a bit above here. Because if the pound does want to get some momentum, I don't want to see those kind of gains trickle away. I'd rather lock it in and be happy with what I've got. We entered from all the way up here, so. And really, I might go in again after I do the breakout and test the breakout retest. I like the trade management, the breakout retest, but obviously there is the re-option of selling that particular candle because of how particular I am. Now, again, I'd have to go in and test it again with trades like Kiwi Yen in January, where we had a 3+ R on it, right? We would have lost it on that particular instance. So anyway, I'm going to go and do that after I do the breakout one. But this is certainly a lovely trend, lovely. You know, and it's always nice when a plan comes together, right? From a 4-hour perspective, breaking through that, and we did get good movement to the downside. So CAD has been good to me. CAD's been good to me. EJ is another nice one. EJ is another nice one where we are tagging these highs and probably expecting a slight reaction around these highs, which I don't mind. We're just looking for swings. So if it wants to come back and give me another little swing like this to move our stop up, I believe on this one, obviously banking 1%. We are at, I think it's another 1%. Yeah, just over 1.25%. So another one that looks good. You know, this is it a funny, because Euro NZD is the last one. So Euro NZD is the one that I really want to go, because that would kind of cap off a very nice period of trading from a horrible few months, and probably a very nice period that would take away all the negativity and all the losing percentages, let's say, from the last few months. So this is a nice setup. ABC in again from an aggressive entry point of view. This is certainly aggressive entry coming on increasing volume. It's pretty much a perfect inverted hammer. Rejection of that 20, kind of on roughly this trend line as well. Another little reload. That is an aggressive entry all day. The issue with Euro NZD, and it's quite similar. Well, the issue I had with Euro NZD, which is quite similar to Euro Yen, was the fact that we could potentially be in this. But my argument for it, and Aaron's here, he pointed out this when we looked at USD. Is it USD NOK? USD SEK. Basically, one of those kind of exotic USD pairs where, you know, as a trend continuation trader, you're expecting this to move to the upside really from here. Because for me looking at it, this is a pretty healthy trend. Push on, ABC corrective, back to that 20, continuation, right? Because we didn't get that, and we had price action here the last few days, you know, bearish engulfer, not really breaching through this 200, a rejection there, 20 pairs starting to curl around. But we added that in with our weekly chart. Right, so there, we've obviously got very similar to pound CAD, where we think this is potentially the end of the corrective, inverted hammer on the weekly. It's kind of enough there, which I think we had with Euro Yen for me to be quite comfortable taking that trade. Okay, so I mean, it could be potentially one that I get an aggressive in, I get a breakout in, and potentially a breakout retest in. Which I can actually take the breakout retest, because this stop is obviously at break even. Now, I think the worst case scenario with all these trades, Nokia. So yeah, I think the worst case scenario, if we've banked 2.5, we've banked about 2.2, let's say, or something like that in EJ. This is at break even. So what's that? Bad maths. 4, 2, 4. Is that right? No, sorry, that's not right. Sorry, that's not right. So it's 2.5, but then it's 1.2 in EJ banked, right? So it's about 3, 4, 5. 7%, is it? Let's just say on average 7%. Is that right? Anyway, whatever. So the worst case scenario is we lose this EN, which means I think 5% is probably the worst case scenario on all these trades, which is great. But if I can get this down, that would be probably a double-digit kind of couple of trades, which obviously would be pretty ideal. So, and it was, as I was saying yesterday when I was taking that EN, this breakout, I was in a position where GCAD was stopped and, you know, running 1%, EJ taking partials, running 1%. EN can't lose anything, and when we've got effectively 6% risk there on play with only 2% drawdown, but you know, no chance of losing any money because of these trades. So it's a really lovely position to be in. So with EN, yeah, if we can get some movement to the downside, it would just obviously make my weekend. But let's see. The breakout has quite a little bit before it does get stopped. I have put in my kind of aggressive entry in as well, or my aggressive stop here for testing purposes, just above this area. Doesn't actually look too bad for a little bit of intra upward movement on the smaller time frames, but let's see what happens. Wouldn't like it to break above this 200. Still got that 20 in the way. I like it. Okay, anything you guys want to look at before we get into the $200 winner? I am going to be giving, so as I said, next month, so this time next month, I want to give away a 50K. Okay, so, as I said, when we launch Simplicity, I'm hoping the whole premise of me spending all this bloody money on marketing, etc., is that we have more members and my business can start to kind of kick off. This is the best time to try and apply and win it. Don't have to start it now. But if you want to apply next week for next month's giveaway, send me a message. I want to give one of these away. If you've won before, you can win again, right? If you have applied before, you can apply again. Okay, doesn't matter. Anyway, so the $200. This one was quite a difficult one this month actually, between two people in the stream. I'll just tell you, it was between Leon and Dill. So I was kind of thinking, they're always on the stream. So it was kind of between like, well, who do I go with? But I think, basically, it's going to the person who's very welcoming to new members, always sending out gifts. I think you're talking gifts now. So well done, Leon. You have won the $200 giveaway this month. And appreciate you being part of the community. Everybody here, all the people on the streams, I'll send you a message on Discord after the stream, but well done on winning the $200. And well done, well done everybody else. Everybody else here has been on stream, over the last couple of months, even when times weren't good, and trading was difficult. So you see a lot of people fall off, right? In the last few months, you see a lot of people fall off and then come back and then fall off, So I can kind of tell with all the usuals that you're going to be around and, keep continuing with your trading, which is good to see. Yeah, the 350. So Martin Messi's got family. Martin's got family over at the moment, which is why he's not been around. So he's going to be back next week for the for the 350 trade. He's still got until the NFP day, but yeah, Martin still has that. We do that one in middle of the month, Aaron. So the second Friday, I think, every month will be the 350. But Martin's just had family around, so he's not put the trade in. Every 2 weeks? No, we'll do. It's a monthly thing. Unless maybe if Martin wins it, we can just go about how we ever want it. If he wins it and has a big trade, then we could do it like in that month, a second winner. You know what I mean? If we lose it, we'll do a monthly. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. Right, well done, guys. Anything you guys want me to look at before I head off? As I said, for me, it's not a day to be trading. I'll just watch what's happening and touch wood. Positions go well, but I'm in a pretty happy position with my trades. All right, guys. Well done, Leon. Have a lovely weekend, all. Trade safe, and I'll see you all on Monday. Peace.